everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Cracked Palantir, because I see far, but not that well. Anyway, this is episode 58 of Brise's Tale, and as always, Brise is played by my good buddy Max. Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening or daytime, wherever you are.
That's right.
This great world of ours.
Enjoying the scorching heat that we all have come to love.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
What's not to enjoy about 100-degree weather?
that's right. To do a little recap, we know that you are in the brave struggle to try to undo the schemes of an ancient sorceress queen named Verilag. Verilag is responsible for trapping an enormous demon, and that is what powered her empire and her quests for greater power. She was imprisoned 5,000 years ago. You inadvertently freed her. You have since recruited various people to help you. One of those people, Adabir, was recently murdered. Um, and
Rip in pieces.
Yes. And when Kralum found out that there was no real effort to free him, but rather just drain his power to weaken Verlang, Kralum, through some rather cunning plan, killed um, killed Adabir, which would be great, except you had visiting wizards at the time, and those wizards have been accused of being the murderers of uh, of Adabir. Um, Lady Miagral was the um, was helping you, had hosted your party, your sort of entourage, not like an adventuring party that we might normally think of in role playing. But now Lady Mia Grawl is holding you somewhat responsible for Adabir's death, but also two wizards who visit those wizards that visited recently. Falramar, an elven woman, and Plesh, a male goblin seer of considerable age. So now Falramar has presented herself before the gates and said that she gives herself as hostage to establish her innocence and that of Plesh.
Mm.
So they have tossed Falramar in the dungeon. Uh, Fraudrum had the court magician for Lady Miagral. Doesn't believe that you're involved, but is still responsible for the safety of the keep and will be responsible for questioning Falramar about any involvement she had with Adabir's death. Um,
That's actually an interesting point. Is Miagrar going to actually ask someone else? I guess multiple people will question Farnar, right? And she'll probably corroborate them all. If I was Miagral, that's what I would do. If I was a crusty old goblin noble, that's what I would do.
But presumably, I mean, we certainly have evidence that Adabir was killed by magical means.
Right.
So your best interrogator is going to be your chief magician.
True. They're the
Um, so, um,
also, what happened last session was a conversation with Fraldrim. We've previously already spilled all means to Fraldrim about Kralum and Verilag, and she is definitely an ally to me, working my favor, and teleported her to the volcanic prison of Kralum and replaced the tomes that Adabir had requested to have been stolen for the purposes of his research. So now Fraldrum is seeing the volcano in Kralum, and it's kind of like a close of a chapter. We're no longer trying to study necessarily the enchantments and understanding the runes in Kralum himself, but more of just we're just going to try to free him by breaking his chains. Sounds
Right.
like the next,
Yeah.
Plan of attack. So
He's sort of this gigantic football field sized being, sort of a hybrid between a spider and a scorpion, sort of this fat spider with a scorpion's tail. It's an ice lord. He continually produces ice now over the mouth of this volcano, trying to stay alive, which was Verlag's plan, of course, is to tie up a good portion of his power just trying to live. And these manacles are, they have him spread across the mouth of the volcano. And the question is, can we somehow break those chains, free him? Since he is not supposed to be in this realm, he should be cast back to his own demonic realm. Verlag then loses all of her power, and presumably then the prison can snatch her back, snatch her spirit back, and imprison her beneath the lake several hundred miles away.
Right.
That is the ideal situation. The Adabir chapter, as you said, is closed horrifically and violently. But it does put you on the chopping block for whether or not you were responsible in any way for Adabir's death.
And absolutely.
What?
Absolutely, I am.
Yeah.
Very indirectly.
Very indirectly.
A lot of weight on my shoulders. But
yeah, it's kind of a grim business here.
Let's try not to kill any more powerful wizards.
Exactly.
Or maybe I'll just throw caution to the wind and try to kill as many as I
can. Right. It's worked out so great in the past. So here we are. So right. You had had
back to the keep at mid-afternoon.
Right. And you had a conversation with Fraldrum about since you had revealed that Kralum is working on his own plan to free himself.
Yes,
and
right.
That he has some cooperative agent in the, he's convinced someone to help him among the castle staff, presumably someone with magical knowledge. It's hard to imagine otherwise.
Yes.
It'd be interesting to imagine otherwise, I guess. But they are in a week or so, in a few days, in the coming days, you're going to be approached by someone, whoever this person is, and asked to help with his personal plan to free himself. When you mentioned that to Fraldrum, Fraldrum says, it is possible that I could disguise myself as you for the next several days, and then at least I could be present when they approach me.
Right.
But the problem is, of course, being the chief magician at the court and having Faramar to question, that's difficult to juggle.
Isn't Brise working to kill another pound? Yeah, basically.
That's all he does. That's all she does, I should say.
Free evil sorceresses and kill powerful wizards.
That's it. That's it.
Right. So I get back to the keep, and I guess I would want some. Well, we discussed this before the session, but there is an arrangement I made with someone in town to teleport me to another city, Goblin City. Or you said it was supposed to be this morning for everyone watching, but obviously the event of this morning prevented that. It was meeting, having Falramar at the gates and everything. So she left word.
So when you come back from the gates, there's a note under your door. A maid or Burlow or somebody would have stopped you on your way up there and said, "Hey, a note has come for you. It's under your door."
Right.
And there you find a note from her saying, "I was told I could find you at the keep. Um, you know, since you didn't make our arrangement, I have returned the 2 scrolls to you."
Okay. Okay.
So she's a good sort, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're just there with the note or on the
Yes.
property. Okay. Add
So
those back to my inventory. That's that sorted out. Done.
right.
Easy. Finally, something Karandrin that's not. What?
Oh, and there is, I should tell everybody, there is new content up on
Oh
the
yeah.
website. Yet another article up. I meant to ask you before the stream what you thought of it, but we can talk
I
about
have
that.
not read it. Sorry.
No, it's all right. It's fine. Um,
I'm sure
so
it's wonderful. Everyone go read it. And
that's right. That's
hopefully
right.
there are no typos.
And we're going to try to put stuff up. I'd love to try to do an article a week. That would be lovely. And we've had a good little run here. Um, so, ladies and gents, so what do you think about? Are you generally in favor of Fraldrum's plan, and it's a matter of how to execute?
I think I am. So we discussed this before. Is I'm anything that furthers the goal of freeing Kralum. Even if it's disloyal or it goes against certain precepts. So I agree with it on that front. I'm wondering if there's anything about my honor, or something that I might be afraid of. In
The
terms of
question of this,
her posing as me, yeah, is that
right?
cowardly? I'm like, no, I can be the
Is
one to
it?
do
Yeah. Is it? Well, and it's sort of a matter of in terms of your honor, in terms of is it dishonest?
it. Right, exactly. The
Um,
root of it, is it kind of too underhanded, to
that's a good
do
question. That's an interesting question. And also, kind of, we've talked about before, as we sort of rolled, like how you feel about various things. One of the questions that came up was like, this felt like this is your fight. You caused it. You have a responsibility to see it through, which is one of the reasons you're uncomfortable with
right,
using the just escape to a different world.
right,
Entirely.
the Iron Empress, her dream offerings, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Um, and so, it's a complex one. I would say
It
roll.
could be a role, yeah, just to see
I
how
would say roll for it.
okay.
How does
So
it feel about your honor? Will be the first question.
okay, and so
Roll
we're
it.
doing lowers feels worse and higher feels okay.
Yes,
Okay, so 33.
33, and then how does it feel as though um, you're
Deferred.
stepping back from the battle, right?
Right.
That is your responsibility.
And that is an 84. So
Wow. So yeah, but here is the other question that may trump all of those, and that is, if it's a powerful magical individual who is Fralum's aide,
right.
certainly Fraldrum is more acquainted with how to deal with that and more acquainted with the likely
Yes.
candidates.
And the thing we might say is that okay, well then she can pose as me, but for the least amount of time possible, right? It's like I want to be
Well, I say we roll how you feel about Fraldrum's
or
necessary role,
okay.
and we'll see what it says given the other roles.
5. Sorry, Kevin. I guess it's not.
No, it means that
Guys have spoken. Yeah.
um,
Even
it,
though Fraldrum, well, it's best that she's experienced, that she's has a necessary role.
despite her expertise, you feel it's your responsibility,
Right.
and you don't like the idea of stepping back from your responsibilities, and you don't like the general dishonesty of
Right.
you know.
Okay.
And so we can have you sort of reach that conclusion as you're mulling over things in your
Right.
in your
Times
room,
passing.
debating on what to do. Um, prior to sending her a note with your decisions on that matter, um, what sort of goals do you have for yourself today? I know it's kind of weird because you're sort of under house arrest.
Yeah, still. And I guess actually that's another thing to clarify is now that Fraldrum is here, technically I'm not really allowed to. I mean, I could go out hunting with Milani like I was earlier, but other than that, I'm kind of supposed to stay at the keep.
Right.
Correct. That's the
really
memo.
the sense you get. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Leaving is a little suspicious. Yeah.
Right. Is there what was I gonna say? We could just have you roll. We could have you just roll through.
I think we will, because I'm looking through my goals and I don't really have anything. You know what I might do? I sent a note to Batherin already. I guess you can't really see the apprentices either, right? We're not really supposed to.
It's you guys really are in kind of tight house arrest. Like no one's supposed to talk to anyone else. You've sort of gotten permission to go next door and see Burlow.
Yeah, but even that I kind of had to bribe.
Right.
A little bit.
I mean, there's no question that your note was read that came in, for instance.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. That's why, the note I sent to Batherin just said, you can the spell is no longer needed. As vague as possible. So,
right.
Okay, then let's just roll through the day. I am just kind of twiddling my thumbs. We'll try to do some reading.
So you do send a note to Fraldrum saying that I'm uncomfortable with the plan as we discussed it.
Oh yes, right.
So, you sit back and read, and the boredom is terrible.
I guess also is the library off limits? I remember I got permission to the library from Burlow, I believe, was able to get that.
Right, although he's sort of lost his pull.
Right, exactly. So, I might just send a little, because I do have some topics I might want to research. Could spend some time there instead of pacing around my room.
So maybe you ask the outside guard, hey, could someone escort? Could you find out if it would be okay if if I could be escorted to the library?
Right.
You shut the door, waiting for a response as you do. And hey, there's a beautiful green light in your room, and it blossoms and opens.
Oh, yay!
And the flower people emerge, one of their kind, and there is a Trinidos riding on its shoulder.
Okay. Inside my room. Awesome. Really quick as they appear, I do kind of look at them worriedly and say, this place is under, magical protection. Hopefully you haven't set off any alarms or anything. Are you aware of that?
I thought you looked worried, daughter of man, says the enormous musical choral voice of the Trinidos. I should put their little descriptor up.
Yeah.
All right, try it.
A tiny descriptor for a tiny being.
That's right. Should do a subtitle on that one. We are here now. What damage is done is done.
Okay, that's what
we can make this very quick.
Yeah,
that would make you more comfortable.
Yes, that would be appreciated.
We simply have word that the Philistine are making a deal with some great power in the Vetch.
Oh my goodness.
That's all we can glean thus far. It has been referenced by several meetings of the tribes.
Yeah.
And there is, we think, no doubt that the body of the great creature that was slain, that went missing,
Right.
this great demon Aluktu, that must be part of the bargain.
Oh wow. Interesting.
If they are going to the effort to move such an unholy corpse that weighs as much as 20 oaks,
Mm.
what being could make use of such a thing? We shudder to think. But we will leave you.
Okay. Yeah. I thank them, and this is grave news, but you know,
They turn to
appreciate.
go, and the Trinitas stop, and they ask, "Are you in need of rescue?"
Uh, no, it's fine. I am not held against my will, but the situation here is tenuous. So it's best that magical happenings, visitations are limited.
There's definitively the sound of a teleport somewhere inside the building.
Hmm.
Sounds like it comes from down the hall. You turn to them and say, "Gotta go, gotta go."
Oh yeah.
They say, we'll check in 3 days."
Okay.
And they go through.
Can I, as they're going, I pull out like a tome to like pretend maybe I was like casting a spell. Actually, no, I guess I don't. Never mind. I don't want to do that because then it seems like I'm really suspicious. Never mind.
It's
I just
like,
had a great idea to like fake it, and then I'm like, no, that's a bad idea.
So, just going through my list here. So the door is flung open.
Oops.
Fraldrum and Kefik, who is one of the apprentices, are standing there. Roll to hide your expression of guilt.
Woo! 33.
Fraldrum turns to Kefik and says, "Find them." And Kefik is like, "You're better at it." And she's like, "Go." And she steps in. The guard is at alert. She slams the door behind her. Faye, where are they?
They're back where they are from. Creatures from the Vetch. I just tell her they call themselves the Trinidas.
I've heard of the Trinidas. Just stopping by to chat with my prisoner, are they?
They tend to do that. I'll just be honest with her. It's like I wish I could control or communicate with them. they tend to appear at sometimes inconvenient times.
She strides towards you and grabs you very forcefully by the arm. I mean, and you feel like a child, like being scolded.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you think this is a game?
No, Fraldrum. Stop.
You are going to get executed if this continues. I won't be able to stop it. You don't think that guard is only going to answer to me? Only going to talk to me?
Okay.
When he gets relieved this evening and he goes to the mess hall, guess what he's going to talk about?
Blackjack.
And it's going to make it all over the castle that something strange happened in your room. Miagral will know it right after supper. Someone will run and take that news to her.
Well, I guess how do I take this? I don't like being, talked down to like that. I understand.
No, but you also know
But I
that
also understand, yeah, that
she's
completely
100%
right.
correct. I mean,
Angrily.
you just based on suspicion, you could have your head off.
Right.
And the game master doesn't know what to do about that. I'm like, I don't know how it could happen otherwise. Once you push these powerful people far enough, they're going to quit giving any benefit of the doubt because they don't care. They don't have to care.
Right. I I tell her like I can well, what can I do? I can next time they appear, I'll make sure I'm outside of the keep and I'll tell them that, they can't do that.
Did you summon them?
No, I did not.
How did they know you were here?
I say I'll describe the flower children. I guess they are accompanied with another creature that seems to. That's the one that
she stops you. You've won the confidence of the flower people?
The flower people. Yeah, that's how I was going to describe them.
I rolled a double aught for her knowledge about them.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Change of plans.
I'm just surprised you understand who they are. That's a miracle.
They are a force of fundamental good. They wouldn't have anything to do with you if you were tainted or a bad heart.
Yeah, Quinn makes a good point. I think they should stop peering to me because after a couple nights ago with Aldrich, he flowered. Sorry. Continue, Fraldrum. Couldn't help myself.
Oh, look at all Quinn's stuff there. Quinn's such a goober. Oh my God.
Right. I'll just say I have, made a connection with them some time ago, and they have been following me ever since, trying to help.
She looks at you a long time and she says, I'm going to arrest you. We're going to make a big show of it.
Oh
We're
my
going to make a
gosh.
big production of it. It'll put an end to all of this in terms of your suspicion and my loyalties and everything. And then I'm going to teleport you and your gear out of here. I'm going to put an illusion of you in the cell.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that makes sense. Um,
You can talk to the Trinidas and the flower people whenever you like. You're no longer in danger of execution.
um, I mean, yeah, I honestly, I tell her I've been, itching to leave the keep. It's only because of the current situation. I'm forced to stay here. That does sound like a good scapegoat. Is any problem with that though? I mean,
You're going to have to teleport us to whatever location you think is fine. It can't be anywhere in the town. There are spies all over that place. People talk about you just as a matter of course.
gosh, we're gonna be like exiles from all of Balabry. Oh my gosh, no! All the people I've met, all the connections. I mean,
But I have to go with you when you teleport
right.
so that I can find you when I need you and when things have blown over. In the meantime, it'll appear that I am questioning your illusion, and all suspicion about us being in cahoots will go away. You can visit freely with the flower people.
Well, I say, what about the apprentices though, and all the people I've interacted with here?
Do you believe they're innocent? I do.
Well, yes, and I mean, I just mentioned. I mean, I feel like Dostrick would vouch for me. Wouldn't that be like a problem?
Well, I'm arresting you on suspicion, right?
Okay,
We're going to exonerate everybody ultimately.
okay.
The
I
problem
see.
is
Arrest me on suspicion, not on a actual charge. Okay. Okay.
the idea is that you set off a magical alarm. I was tired of giving you the benefit of the doubt. You'll be at least kept away from harm
Right.
until we can sort all of this out.
And then
And
if it
then,
does get sorted out, maybe it would be possible to return. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any problems with it. Um, again, out of character. Again, like the issue of like my honor and stuff like that. It does feel kind of the similar, to the idea of running away from all this, but at
but
the
you're
same
not.
time, it's this now it's more risk getting killed. I am sensible, I am honorable, but I'm also
I mean, and
keep pushing
you
it.
can't, and it also prevents you from, I mean, it prevents you from worsening the situation, which
Right.
simply you've done accidentally and are likely to accidentally do again.
And it also gives me free reign. Like now I can actually do research and leave the keep and do things where I've been kind of stuck here. Yeah. Um, okay. Now I guess the only thing then is I think about Aldruff. He is also now just stuck here. Although I guess nothing's preventing him. No, but I can't even go into town. Oh
No.
my gosh.
I mean,
Jeez.
you at least have to admit that he's safe.
Right. But again, it's just the same as before. I just won't be able to see him for some time till things cool down. Okay. So that situation doesn't really change. Mm, okay. I mean, it's a crazy plan, but I can't. I see no reason to oppose to it. I tell her. Goodness gracious.
She tells you to just dress in. What will you be dressed in? What were you dressed in last when you were
I
summoned to
was,
the gate?
yeah, I was dressed in. Well, I just woke up, so it would have been just my normal clothes, town clothes.
Probably probably just a shift.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, hold on. But then I went out hunting, right, and then we teleported to Volcano and back. I would
Right.
be in like full adventuring gear.
Right. So
Wouldn't have really
she asked you just to strip down to basically your just outerwear, like your pants and shirt and boots and so on.
right.
And she casts some spell after studying you carefully. She has you twirl. She watches you for quite a while, and she casts a spell. And then she tells you to gather your things. You gather it all up. She looks at the door. The door locks. And she says, I'm going to teleport us to a spot I have outside of town.
Okay.
From there, you'll need to teleport us to where I can come and find you. Let's say 2 days from now, in the evening, around sunset, you need to be at this location wherever you're going to take us.
Okay.
So you gather your stuff. She looks at you. She says, with your permission?
Yes, I am willing.
And boom, she teleports. You're on a hillside, in the valley. Doesn't seem familiar to you. Can't quite place where you are.
Okay.
In relation to the town. You can see the keep from here, which means you're north of town, somewhere
Right.
north of town. And the keep is across the way, so northeast part of the town, outside of the town. Now take us where you will.
And so again, to clarify, this is somewhere. Can it be between the keep and the town, or somewhere just? Actually, no. Probably don't want that, because then when I leave, I would want to be farther away. So I'll take her to the manor, the Goblin Manor. Might be a good place.
Your campsite that you've memorized, or because you don't teleport in that place?
No, it's the stables. There's a spot at the stables near the manor.
Okay.
That way, I was thinking like if I mess up the aiming and stuff, it'll hopefully be either around there or at another wilderness location. So
All right. So she says,
try.
I grant you permission to carry me.
Okay, let's go. Boom. 24 teleport.
Not a great casting. 15 exhaustion instead of the typical 10.
And aim is a 40.
Not bad.
Okay.
You were there mid-afternoon. A suggestion from Quinn. This is not going to be good. This is going to be something about killing you.
Yeah, probably. I was teleport to the volcano prison. I'll just wait here for 2 days. It's fine.
You just teleport. Most of Fraudrum.
90% of Fraudrum.
90%.
Just like 2 feet. Just like.
Just like Adabir.
Oh no!
The top 2 feet of Fraudrum. Oh man,
Oh,
man.
I'm so sorry. Obi-Wan Karen, remind us who Fraldrum is. 10 minutes ago, Fraldrum is the chief court magician of Mia Grawl. Yeah, there's just asked it again. So Mia Grawl's, chief wizard Fraldrum, who I have told everything about Verilag and Kralum because I trust her, to the extent that she's willing to help. And so she is trying to mediate between Mia Grawl and then Algrit, who wants any excuse to go to war with her, as well as trying to help me eventually free Kralum, whatever power she can. What is she? I think she's an old, very old, like dwarven woman.
Yeah, she's a dark dwarven woman of some age.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. So we teleport to the Goblin Manor stables.
she, you can tell, like, well, she's an old hat. I mean, she's an old hat at this. Like, she teleports her. I forget what she uses. Oh, dadgummit, I need to get.
I think a rod. I was there was this one scene where she held the rod like up above me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So that's,
Yeah, she's. I don't know why it hops to this. There we go. Find him. Find her. I mean,
what do you call it when she casts fireball? A hot rod.
nah.
You're welcome, Obi-Wan.
Yeah, a rod of twisted black metal with small gems set throughout the length. But like you guys arrive, she draws that. She does a quick look round. She has her hand on you, like if you need to go or whatever. Like she
Right.
is ready to lead the way.
Take action, yeah. Oh shit! I couldn't have used my
You even hear her sniffing.
sniffies.
She says, "Be cautious. There may be Delvain nearby. Maggot-like creatures."
Yes. I'd say, yeah, I've fought some of them around here.
She's like, "Is this the spot?"
Yes. It is.
She, looks around. She's clearly just really soaking it in. And she's like, "All right. 2 days at sunset. I expect to find you here."
Okay. Two days from now. Wait. Do we need to do the arrest? Like, I need to come back with her, and she's gonna bring me to the cell.
She hasn't mentioned it,
Okay.
but she is right there.
Right. I mean, I asked, then what about the arrest and the big show? Is that all will be illusion?
All illusion.
Wow. Okay.
I will carry your unconscious illusionary form and a pile of your gear will be left in your room. I will seal the door magically. I'll have the guards stand over your room. They won't be able to enter. Not even my apprentices will be able to break that spell on that door.
Wow. Okay.
And then a pacing, worried, and occasionally sleeping Brise will be in the dungeon.
Just, I'm like wide-eyed. That's incredible.
She kind of blushes a little bit, like she's kind of like,
I mean, yeah, I just mentioned I've seen Bathern cast simply a realistic book almost caused her to faint from exhaustion. I just tell her, I guess, just be careful. And hope.
one must always be with the arts.
Mhm.
Now, I don't need to tell you. The wrath I will come after you with if you leave this place.
I will. I will do the. Yes, I understand. Yes, ma'am.
She casts a few spells. She still steps away. She's looking around. And she casts a few spells and then sort of considers what happens. You don't see anything happen.
Mm.
She says, beware. There are trolls, ogres, and undead
Oh my.
in the miles surrounding this place.
I tell her I know how to disguise campsite and keep myself hidden, so I should be fine.
All right, then.
Oh my God, Kevin, we didn't even think about what about Nalani? I just tell her, remember to create the illusion of the birds on my shoulder.
That's fine.
Okay, just whew.
No one, I mean, the bird would come with you. She'll just see to it that the bird come. You mentioned
Yes,
it.
but then what about also Fraldrin, like in her illusion? I just, don't want to forget.
Well, the thing is that she'll handle all that, right? I mean,
Okay. Well, I'm almost just telling you. I know because we both sometimes forget.
we absolutely do.
As long as it fits in the story,
Right.
then I'm fine.
She opens a window, brings it in, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, your little birdie is there, half of it at least,
Oh
and
my gosh. There we go.
um, and she,
I'm glad she didn't make me. She could have asked me to unshackle just take off the band, And
right, yeah, but you really struck gold with that.
I know, but we're not even that close yet, as well. So I'm glad she didn't
Right.
push me to do that because she could have. So I just give her another gratitude, nothing but gratitude for her. This is the first time I'll be spending a night outside of the keep in a long time. Feels like.
She tells you to be careful. She tells you to be ashamed to have saved your life from Meagral just for you to die at the hands of a troll.
Right.
She says, 2 days, sunset.
Right. Understood. 3 days.
And 19 days. I'm totally down with it.
All right. 2 Karandrin days or 2 real days or
Business days, is it?
I just get a call like on Friday and just like Fraldrin, where are you?
That's hilarious. I'll call you Friday. I'll do that for you. This is Fraldrum.
You're dead.
You have crossed the line. So, she squeezes your arm, wishes you luck, tells you again to be careful, teleports away.
Right, I get it. Jesus.
God, Mom, Dwarven Mom.
Run off the cliff now.
As
soon as she leaves, I bet I could jump from that cliff to like.
I could totally do that. Yeah. So, where is?
Hey.
One thing we probably do need to handle is no, they go back, right? We decided that Avradal is not. He doesn't need to send messengers now. The Trinidas prevented
Right.
him.
The Trinidas have already told him to have them turn back
Right.
because they've spoken. I'm going to leave a note that the next time the Trinidas come, to not contact me.
Right. So there you are, mid-afternoon. You are back at the manor of the abandoned estate there. Um, that you're not done exploring anyway. Although, um, before she goes, why don't you make a roll for me?
Yeah, I'm a little. I don't know if I should. 50.
Well, yeah, you're fairly smart. So let's. So you are worried about the. Actually, got two things you ought to talk about. One is you were given an egg. Um,
Right.
bought an egg
Yes.
that you might want to ask her about before she goes, and the other is you are worried about how you're going to deal with those constructs that patrol
Right.
the guest manors at the edge of the property.
Right. If they do end up spotting me. Now, I have camped at this site. The site is a little ways away, and I have camped there, 4 or 5 nights without.
Yes, that's not my worry. My worry is if you're going to explore this place, how are you going to deal with those things?
Yes.
Now, you
Yes.
don't have to. Of course, this is totally sandbox. You can just leave. I don't care. As long as you're
Right.
back here, that's what you care about.
Right.
You can make your way down the mountain. You could, ask around if there's any village inhabitants. You can ask around, valley inhabitants on the far side of the mountain. Remember, you could see if you can find leads on the Iron Empress.
Right.
But you're here, she's here, it occurs to you, and also the egg.
Yes. So you mean, I'll ask her about the egg, really quick if I have some time. Just, well, no, I don't have it because it's at my. I can tell her about it. I just.
Where is it?
I don't have any of my stuff, right?
You have all of your stuff.
Wait, I'm confused.
There's an
Okay,
illusion.
sure. Right.
An
Okay.
illusion of gear is what she's going to leave there.
Understood.
You have everything except for your horse.
Damn it! Can't make an illusion of my horse. No, I ask her about the egg, and I just pull it out and say, "If you have a moment, I did come across this merchant, and yeah, you're the first magical person that could maybe give me some advice on what this is. I've seen, a similar shattered egg before."
You shouldn't have that. That's the egg of a great firebird that lives usually much further north in the land of the ancients. If you want to really be a mother finally, you could put it in a fire and let it hatch.
Okay.
But why don't you just give it to me for safekeeping?
I suppose so. Yeah, it'll keep it more secure. Saying, well, yeah, might as well, as long as you can keep it safe. Thanks for letting me know.
She takes it very gingerly from you, looking at you like, "What are you doing, walking around with a bomb?"
Well, yeah, what was that guy from a merchant who was
I'll have to have a word with that merchant, is what she says.
Gibberish, yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I don't want to take up, get on her nerves too much more. So I'll say, okay, yeah, just keep it safe. Thank you. Put it in the fire.
She refers to them as cinder hawks. She tells you they're just really dangerous and very territorial.
I'm sure the babies are cute.
That's right. They're adorable.
Little featherless, scrawny things.
That's right. Fledgling, an emberling, whatever you want to call them. So she wraps it in a cloth and just puts it in a pouch. She's just, what else is going on in my life?
Right.
And anything else before she goes?
No, I think that's good.
2 days. And
2
off
days.
she goes.
There's a great, I don't know if you watch a lot of SpongeBob. There's a great classic scene, kind of like a meme, where it's like talking with Patrick and he's like, all right, see you at 6 o'clock. It's like 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And they're walking away. And then it cuts to like 3:30 a.m. Just comes back home. It's like pitch black. Oh my god.
That's fantastic. I have not watched a lot. I've not watched a lot of SpongeBob, but the ones I've watched, I've enjoyed. They've been really. I mean, one just kills me, but something to do with the spatula of Poseidon or something, and that one is, God, that one's so good. It made me laugh so much. But what do you think about us taking a break, and then we'll get back to see what kind of trouble you can get to here. So. That's right. So we're going to go freshen our drinks and stretch our legs. We hope you guys will join us in just a few minutes. We'll be right back with more Karandrin, and we'll see what's up. Welcome back, everybody. Let me get our buddy Max back. There he is. Thanks for hanging out with us. We just had Fraudrum, the wizard, teleport um, away. And now we're back at the Goblin Manor, um, where, oh, look, our pin's here. Hey.
Just in time.
Um, and back to the Goblin Manor where she has explored before. And what you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's all right. Take some time to explore. I just got to be careful. Nothing happens that I can be back there. Um, so I'm thinking if it's let's go to my campsite first. Drop off my stuff there and make sure that's all disguised properly, and then yeah, some time later in the day we can maybe continue our exploration of the manor, while we're waiting for things to settle down at the keep.
I mean, you could find a closer place. I mean, it's a couple hours away. By the time you get there and back, the walk is.
My campsite?
Yeah.
Really? No, I could have sworn it was like right around the corner.
It's a bit.
Are you sure we're thinking of the same place? The place I had hidden like the vial with the little like black tree matter. That's like that campsite where I hid it.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I could have sworn it was like a 10-minute walk.
Okay. No, that's fine. I was thinking of something else. I must have been thinking of something else.
There was another campsite I made like down valley. Yeah. Maybe
right.
So, but this one should be right there.
Where's my pencil?
Just...
There's my pencil.
I think the idea was I wanted to get out of sight of like the manor and
right
camp there, so the magical defenses, I can teleport back or do anything.
This is. Yep. Huh. So yeah, you head back. There's just a lot of tall grass and so on.
Right.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what this is you're about to find. It is not
big, bad, and ugly.
So, as you're going through the grassy part beyond the edge of the estate, the trees begin to pick up before it breaks again in the grass, and you come to, before you'll see sort of the general area, the general open area there on the mountainside where you've been camping.
Right.
And at the point where the trees sort of get thick, it falls away to just a crevice, a hollow, in the mountain.
Okay.
And there, what direction are we moving? Not having seen you, but moving steadily, just happened to be intersecting you, picking its way up the wooded slope that falls down is, well, I should have you roll for how you feel about this.
85.
It's unnerving because while you've never seen a giant, this is an undead giant.
Oh my gosh.
It is a creature of an enormous size, 30 to 40 feet high.
Wow. Jesus.
Dressed in male clothing. Wow. Has crudely hammered plate armor on.
Oh.
And it cares not that it sounds like a thunderstorm rattling through the woods. It moves with the confidence of something that has been able to kill everything that it's come across.
Well, given that it's thundering so loudly, would I have noticed it maybe further back and been like, let's wait to see it, rather than get really close?
It must have started moving about the time that
Oh,
it.
I get you. Yeah, makes sense.
Um, so
It
it
might.
finished whatever task it was about, and who knows what tasks such creatures have. Um, Obviously, um,
Now
it's all about feeding the poor. Now,
yeah,
it seems to be largely picking its way, so it's having to study its own feet
right,
and deciding which tree to snap in half and that sort of thing, where to find purchase to
right.
pull itself up. It is enormously armored, though. It has a helm with two horns out this way, a horn in the rear that's shorter. Um,
Is this resemble in any way to the other large undead creature I'd seen? Remember the priest bird and we fought it in that temple of Lewin a long
that
time ago.
is about half the height.
Okay, so this, this
Uh,
guy's a big one.
that one has an enormous pot
Belly,
belly,
yeah.
and this one is not. You can. It is still flesh on the bone. Um, it carries a crudely hammered, slender sword at its side.
Wow.
But of course, the thing is, I mean, if it's 40 feet high, then that thing has got to be 15 feet long.
Yeah.
But it's very, it's just got a chore, despite its size, making its way up the slope. You have the benefit of trees.
Right. I'm looking through my spells as well as anything I can just
Yeah,
discard.
definitely want to. Um,
Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Detect ambush. Too late. I don't think I've got anything to disguise myself. Yeah. Look through my potions real quick. Do a mental, just mental inventory if I could take anything right now that would help
but
me hide.
shoot, you have. I mean, it's gonna take a while to get up the slope, and I mean, obviously, right now. You're obviously just backing up, finding a
Right.
tree. You are
Right.
popping open your backpack and digging through for probably
Anything.
not answers, but emergency aid.
Right. Yeah.
Roll for me.
Yeah. I mean, 67.
Higher on the hillside beyond him, the mountainside as it rises up again,
Right.
you can see two of the people of the soil crouched down in the brushes higher up than you are,
Oh my
watching
gosh.
with great concern.
Wow.
There is no evidence they have seen you.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen them. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try to, hide as best I can, and because casting a spell might cause more noise than it might help me hide. So
I mean, it's hard to believe that he could hear anything through
I'm true.
the
Yeah.
rustling and so on. I don't think you're worried about him hearing you.
Okay. Then
Um,
we might actually try it. Disguise camp just on the area around me. Um,
you You
So they
could
don't
do
really.
you could do fog in your area. Don't you have fog in the
Oh, I do have fog. That's right. In the nature, I didn't even think about that. I was looking for things that would hide or make me hidden, but
fog would
make
do
me
that.
invisible. Fog would do that. Yeah. Um, that's a great idea. I mean, yeah, I would do that. How big of an area is fog? Yeah, call fog 100. So I'm casting out from the tome. So that would be 200 feet. Wait, no. Radius is, it would be 150 feet. So as long as I can kind of envelop both of us, then I think that would be good.
Envelop both of you.
Right, because I don't want the fog. I don't know. What if a fog just magically appears like away from him, and then when that maybe he might be caused to go over there? I think that's
I
something.
see what you mean. Yeah, there may not be a way to.
If he starts coming toward me, like then maybe I'll have the fog ready. So
Right.
I'll have the tome out, open to the spell, and
What's
hiding.
level 10 on that? And the
On
tome?
you mean the radius?
No. What's the level 10 spell in the tome?
Call lightning.
Just do it from cover.
No.
Over and over again. We had some players do that one time a long time ago. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember it working once on that undead drummer.
Yes.
It was really cool, but I feel it's going to take several, call lightnings on this dude. I'm also already at like kind of some exhaustion, 65.
Yeah.
So 2 of those would already kind of get me pretty tired. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll have call fog kind of ready if he starts to come in my direction, but for now I'll just watch him go on by. That's crazy.
He is struggling up. Finally, after several minutes, makes it to your level,
Right.
where now he can just stride sort of through the boughs of the trees. The trees are generally taller than he is, but he will. He just breaks. If the meeting of the boughs is the crown of the trees is just too much for him, he just snaps things and keeps going.
Jesus.
As he makes it into patches of openness, roll for me.
75.
That is the mark of the Iron Empress on his armor.
Gosh.
It is on the huge greaves that he wears, which seem to be just whole banks of leather, fashioned, flattened onto, probably dead tree trunks. I mean, they're just enormous. Big, heavy metal rivets hold them in place, very crudely hammered. Roll for me.
48.
There's this weird sense you get, like, this is mine. And you stop and you go, that's not my thought. And then you go, oh no. It's Verilag's thought.
What?
She's calling evil to her.
Oh my gosh. What? Yeah, just like before with Aluktu. Similar. Huh.
So there's just a sense that you just somehow know that's the call this creature is answering, and it's pulling it away from the Iron Empress.
Right.
It marches through, finally passing into the open grassland, sort of cutting, 90 degrees across your, intersecting your would-be path.
Right.
It continues to march. It's just a thunderous racket as it's going through. Somewhat quieter now that it's not in the boughs of trees and things, not having to snap things and things slap against its breastplate. Um, there too, on the back of its helmet, you can see the mark of the Iron Empress, the dagger, and the serpents.
So Obi-Wan, I don't know if you have a thing for the Iron Empress, Kevin. But
I do. There is no relationship between her and Verlag.
besides them both just being evil women.
It does seem to be a theme. It does seem to be a theme we've got going on here. Don't know.
Powerful evil woman. No, the Iron Empress is a religious figure from this region, which is it actually would have been a contemporary of Verlag, some 4,000, 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, possibly worshipped by Verlag.
Right. Definitely would have been in a pantheon with several other deities who are like birds, who kind of represent more of the good side of the pantheon, and the Iron Empress is a more negative, side of it, more to do with death and all that good stuff.
She's depicted as, I mean, that faith depicts life as a maze.
Right.
A maze built by the gods. And the Iron Empress is depicted as your savior from the maze, in the sense that she is the goddess of death, but she's also sort of represented by serpents. And of course, serpents have no problems navigating a maze. They just crawl over and around and through. Right. But ideally, the good make it through the maze and find some reward that the gods have established. At least that's the belief system that we vaguely pieced together by elements of art that we've seen.
Right. And so we know also that some of the some ogres of Spotted have borne the Iron Empress's mark,
right,
valley, and we know that she has some sway in this valley, perhaps like a temple, an old temple to her that still is visited, or
seems to be active, holding some sway over the region, but we really don't know much more than that.
It's one of those weird things where it's like, is it holy or unholy? Like, it's technically faith,
Right.
I always like when Dark Souls, the game is really, the game series is really good with that. They have like, faith, yes, but there's also like the evil faith, or just like the dark kind of magic where you can like try to not believe in the gods, and that itself is like a type of faith. It's just having a belief, a conviction. That is like a type of class of spells or class of power. So I guess it's kind of like this case. They are a god, they are worshipped, but they might not be for the best reasons. Or
right. I mean, it may be for purely self-serving reasons.
Sure, yeah.
Not that even more positive faiths aren't in some ways motivated by that, but
yeah. I guess it's interesting to think about the followers of Iron Empress might be, think themselves really good people.
Right. Historically, low batting average.
Yeah. Anyway, hopefully that answers your question. What is Quinn going on about? Particle Man. It's Undead Giant Man. They have a fight. I don't know what is going on.
Well, it's they might be undead giants. That's where he started in his comments.
Well, I know the band There Might Be Giants.
Yes.
Don't know.
And so he's just making fun of them. And then,
is that one of their songs? Okay.
And then Make a Little Birdhouse in Your Soul is one of their songs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then Constantinople is one of their songs.
Constantinople, that's their big one. Yeah.
And
I only know the song they did for Coraline. It was a little musical ditty.
Right. So off it strides.
Yeah, just wait until I can't hear it, or as long as my patience will allow.
Yeah, you're pretty unnerved. Patience, your impatience can take a back seat.
Well, yeah.
Not peeing yourself. That was a crazy high roll. That was like a 180.
Wow.
So yeah, it's It strides on, like, every time you think it's gone, you're like, you hear something and you're like, that's got to be it, right? That's, I'm
Yeah.
gonna, you know,
I mean, I'll even send my falcon, just to Nalani, just to kind of not fly too high, but maybe just. Oh, I don't know if I even can. Right? I will say, hey, Nalani, can you please?
you will attempt, roll it.
Yeah, investigate how far it's gone. 69. Okay, that's a good number. Good number to roll.
It reaches the end of the range, which is sort of a very uncomfortable feeling for you both.
Yeah.
And it's it can follow the wreckage of further trees further on, but it's long beyond the vision of the falcon.
Okay.
But
it's beyond a falcon's vision. It's probably good.
So
I'll have Lonnie return, and
it does occur to you its trail would be really easy to follow back.
right, to see where it came from.
Right.
That is interesting to think about. So I do think it would be probably miles. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So press on to camp.
Yes. Yeah, we'll keep going the rest of the way. I don't know if those people of the soil will, peer at them. What are they doing? I don't know if I even want to interact with them. Really, if I recall, they asked me not to really come back.
Well, not to seek them out at their home, because you could be followed back.
Right. Now, if they're outside, then
that would be a different scenario. They would. Who knows if these have heard of you or
right, exactly. So
but all of that. Yeah. But that's something that they can decide, right? If you want to talk to them, No,
yeah. No, I'm not interested in. So.
Well, they might have more information. That's the only thing I would raise is this may not be the only thing passing through. There may be a whole period of activity you've missed since you've been gone.
True.
That's the only reason I raised the possibility. I mean, it would be interesting to be able to report back in 2 days and say, yeah, I have contacts who have said they have seen a lot more or no more such activity.
No, that's fair. That's, Brise would probably think about that and say, yeah, okay, then we can try to just seek them out and hail them down from up there.
They made their way through the slope. You would lose sight of them just in terror of watching this thing.
Yeah.
But you spot them again. You sort of do a big wave. They're too far, and you don't want to attract any undue attention if there's things following in that thing.
If you're not undead, I'm trying to talk to you.
They do see you. There's no sense of recognition from their movements, but there is clearly a sense of disagreement about whether to approach you or not.
I will pull out from my pouch the root they gave me. They gave me a big chunk. How does there's a great bit I saw in Game Grumps. How does Scooby-Doo pronounce sentences with R's in them? They're just normal. It's like, right? I ran to the restroom rapidly. It's like, oh, it just sounds eloquent. Very normal. Scooby-Doo. What was I talking about? Where is it? I'm sorry. Uaru root. Ruru. You know what I'm talking about, Kevin? Or do you think I'm crazy? Maybe you have it in your notes. I have it somewhere in here. It's okay. They gave me a root called X as a gift, right? And I want to hold that up, and just say, hey, I have this. I am. Maybe this will convince you to come talk to me.
One sort of looks, at
Uaru. And is it Uaaru? R-U-U. I'm sorry. I'm so happy that
this is
posting in the chat.
This is why we're only number 2 on YouTube.
Yeah, this is why we don't have more viewers. Look at that. How are you supposed to pronounce that? Just send in the chat.
You sent it to me in chat.
I sent in the YouTube.
Oh, it's,
Yeah.
oh, I don't see it yet.
There's a delay.
Oh, that's because I have you blocked. That's my bad.
There it is.
One is interested. The other pulls him briskly aside and forces him down to cover, and they disappear.
Okay. Well, fine.
You tried, right?
Yeah, I did. So I'll stick that back and.
This is one of those cool moments where, if you'd had the familiar spell that you had a chance at ages ago, right? You could speak through your familiar. You could cast a spell on the familiar.
Right.
And then go over there and go, hey, I'm just trying to be, of course, it doesn't matter. Right. You guys couldn't communicate. That's right. You guys.
No, yeah. I didn't even think about that. It would. I didn't even think about that. It would be like, hey, how's it going? They're like, what?
Right. Well, okay. It's not the talking bird that's weird. It's that we can't understand what the talking bird is saying. So alas, your scouts are gone. Although the good news is that when they report back, you might get a visitor.
True. Yeah. If hopefully a friendly one. All right. Well, let's continue out to my campsite then. A little spot.
When's the last time you were here?
It was probably about a week ago, I would think. Yeah. I think the last time I was here was when I got teleported away forcefully, by the magic door.
Oh, that's right.
Probably would have been like last day of April or something. Probably like almost 2 weeks. Crazy.
Find it. Seems undisturbed. Set up camp.
Yeah, set up, immediately do a disguise camp. And I think I can do it at a higher level here. What does doing it at a higher level do to me? Last longer. So cast it at 10th level, make it last for
what?
Or wait.
You're already 10th level. It's going to automatically. Yeah. So the duration is going to be based on your level.
Right.
The level of the spell, if you add more to it, it means that it's more difficult to dispel.
Right, that's what I forget. Yeah, some spells you can add points to. This one you can. It's just, the plus 25 to being overlooked. Okay, so I'll do just a normal disguise camp. That'll be a clean 44 hours. Looks to me like
about what you need.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, roll it up. What level is this?
This is a 3rd level spell.
All right, goodbye.
Piece of cake. That's a 34.
Nice. There you go. 4 exhaustion instead of your usual 3, but a decent casting. Oh my God. What the hell is going on?
I don't know, Kevin. You ask me. Yes. I plan to just relax for a bit. I am a little tired from teleporting a lot, and spend some time, and then we'll see if we're up to exploring the manor later in the day.
Right.
Second half.
So you rest.
Have some. Well, I guess I already had lunch, so.
Right. It'd be an early supper. Spread your gear out, get ready for, gearing up to adventure specifically, like very, specifically there. And, there is a voice that calls out from the trees. It is the voice of Oshekra.
Oh my gosh. What is going on today?
I don't know, but it was another 98 and then 100
God.
And I mean, it's
Okay, you know what? I just breached it because like, okay, what now? Yes, all right.
um,
Um,
so it's it just it says, Brise, hello the camp. I'm approaching. Do not be alarmed.
okay.
And you hear the little clink, 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 and he, emerges out of the trees. He was quite a distance away. You're like, he must have some magic augmentation to his voice because I heard him clear as day from that distance. He looks disheveled. Clearly, one of his legs is bent.
God.
It wasn't before. Um, and he gives you just the creepiest look over. I mean, just like you are, well, in his web, you know.
Okay.
He sits down sort of heavily
Yeah.
and grins at you. He says, "Did you see it pass?"
How could I not? That,
You could have been too early or too late. Don't be foolish.
I was just trying to be funny. I say it was terrifying sight indeed.
You're lucky there weren't two. And he rubs his broken leg.
I, thrust upon the question is what business do you have here? Hope I haven't
Do you
snide.
not recall our meeting? I am told that I am not easy to forget. And his leg stretches out and just so taps the ground. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm allergic to creepy sorcerers.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But
When no chakra sneezes, does his legs go like?
yeah, and it spreads web everywhere.
Oh God, ew. Okay.
From here to the northern border and beyond, I have seen evidence of great powers moving to the west. And then in this valley, as I was returning to a particular outpost of mine, I saw two great undead giants moving in a beautiful marching formation. I had hoped to subdue one and slay the other, but these have been considerably augmented.
And just do a check on if he's telling the truth about that.
Sure.
86.
He is absolutely telling the truth.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I could not get any answers from the one. There was no way to subdue it without destroying it, or else risk myself. But it seems like whatever fool is playing the Iron Empress in that valley and the valleys around has just lost some recruits. As well as a group of about 11 ogres.
Oh.
that march some miles north of here. Perhaps whatever pretender the Iron Empress is, perhaps this little Verilang that you told us of, will force the pretender out.
That would be interesting indeed.
Have you spoken with any of the council since we last talked?
I would have to say, well, I don't know. I don't trust Oshakra. So, I mean, yeah, I'll just say no. I mean, I don't mind outright lying to him. It's for the safety of Faramar and Plash.
Roll.
Boom. 39.
That's crazy. Don't trust me, eh?
I mean, yeah, look at you.
He just waves you off. Fine. Tell them what I have told you. Should you see them before I do, you may tell them also that Denimimru has sent word that he will be returning soon from the land of the ancients to report on what he has found.
Okay.
Is there anything you do need to tell him? I just don't want you to pass up an opportunity.
Yeah.
If there's
well, you know, it's a little concerning. Oshakra is almost going to take matters into his own hands and kind of threaten me. So I'm almost not even sure if I have any information on it.
Right. I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything.
Right, but if there is anything, yeah.
Right. I mean, even given that fact, is there still something?
Right.
Like is Faramar's imprisonment? I guess you don't want to throw that hornet at that particular.
Yeah, because if he tries to do something or even blames me for it, you know, like he kind of did in the first place.
Would it be interesting to ask him his opinion of Fraldrum?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I guess so. If he knows about Fraldrum.
I should double check and make sure I haven't already rolled that because I do. I'll have him here.
You mean Fraldrum, not Faramar.
Yes.
Court sorcerer. Okay. Sure, yeah. Well, I did think of you roll that, and then I did think of something I could bring up with
Sure.
about the Iron Empress. So. Just about you know the research I've done, Nathnoro, and what I know about the Iron Empress. You know, her other name of Woundbray, and you know that I feel like that's acceptable to tell him if he is concerned about who the Iron Empress is, right?
Right, because
Might be helpful, But in terms of the Verilag, Kralum, all that stuff, yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything I want to reveal. I will ask him also if there are any other creatures nearby, undead or otherwise.
The unchecked wilds are crawling with all manner of unnatural, but no people to meddle. Your Fraldrum, this wizardess you ask about, I know that her only by reputation, a meddler, some lapdog of councils. Talented, though, from all accounts, not ungifted. Is she in league with this Verilag?
Not, I'll say not that I know of. I don't think so.
How do you come to be here? Traipsing through the wild when you are, by all accounts, so precious.
I just say that well, it's actually safer to be in the wild than around many people sometimes in the cities.
In that, we agree. Well, you certainly seem to be telling the truth that this Verilag has considerable power.
Hmm.
Well, as you've offered me neither wine nor sup, I will leave you.
Okay, good. As a, I guess just my interaction with him, do I feel any different towards him? I know, felt pretty negatively at first, but change at all, do you think? Or
Roll.
82?
Definitely can be more personable
Okay. Right.
than you would have given him credit for. But this is, I mean, a man of completely ruthless nature.
Right. Personable now, but
Sure. Um, you know, there's sort of a sadness to him that suggests that he's never known a loyalty to anyone else.
right.
Certainly, he gives off an enormous sense of power. I mean, and there's a certain brashness to him, in as much as, for the sake of information to get to the bottom of something, he went after a huge target.
Right.
Um, and, took some blows, which is not surprising. So he takes a little badge off his belt. He throws it on the ground. It grows to what can only be really described as like a sleigh, like this golden, heavily ordained sleigh. And he climbs upon it and grabs the bar across the front, and it takes him off and away.
Just blank, like as he goes away, he's like, ho ho ho, and
That's or no.
no. Oh.
But clearly he takes offense easily, irritable.
Right.
But a man with little use for others.
Right, absolutely. That's what it feels like. Because if you're on his good side, he's probably okay with you. But as soon as you stop being helpful to him, he's like, all right.
Right. Yeah, it would be interesting. It's almost interesting to test whether or not, can anyone, what's the word? Like get on his good side, right? Ever win him over in a long-term way, like build a relationship with him, I guess, really, in any sense,
relationship, any type of relationship, romantic or otherwise. Let's see.
Aldrich, move over. It's time for.
I can fix him.
I can fix him. I can fix that leg.
I can fix the Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Spider-Man.
So, yeah. So
Oh,
So
my
he
goodness.
was tracking targets, and those targets came across you.
Yeah, wow. That is interesting. Um, well, we'll try to get back to relaxing if I can.
Yeah.
Very like, noise in the bushes. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like you want to, like you've got your tome out to call lightning. You're like, I am done. I
Noise.
am done. Um, yeah, I mean, you may just give it a rest and call it a night. I think you're,
Absolutely, yeah. No, I mean, I was tired. I was gonna rest and get back up to it, but might as well just.
yeah, you've got
It's
only
gonna
a
be
couple
evening.
more hours of light,
Okay.
and so, um, build you a small fire, make you a short hot meal, and then douse that thing. You know, no more company. No more company.
No.
So, um, do you want to keep going?
Sure, yeah. We got maybe 10, 20 more minutes. We'll maybe just start heading back into the manor and do a little bit of that before, and
Okay, end you there, and then
leave it
we'll.
off on a bit of a tense note would be fun.
We should have stopped with the conversation. That was pretty
No,
good.
no, no, that's too early. We can't. We got to give our viewers some more content.
So, all right. So, you go to sleep.
Okay.
Is there any precautions you want to take given the day you've had?
Um. Oh, that's a good question. Any besides disguising camp? Um.
Does your eyes of the spirit tome? Does it have anything that might help you stay safe over the night?
Just detection. It has ears of the hair, but those are only that's like for a minute.
Right.
Um, yeah, nothing really. The disguise camp is probably the best
Okay.
thing I have. Otherwise, just waking up and trying to cast some spells to see if anyone's around. But okay, do I survive the night?
I know. You are awakened at one point. Well, this makes sense. People are looking for you.
Need a secretary for gosh sakes.
You,
Falcon. Talk to
you
me.
have a dream of Plesh trying to wake you up, and you wake to Plesh waking you up, shaking you gently.
Gosh. Ah, Jesus. I mean, Lewin. I mean, Astalon.
That's right.
Whichever ones.
And so Plesh, the Goblin Seer, wizened, looks a little angry. He's like, "Why didn't you stop that fool Falramar? And why
Oh,
aren't you locked up in prison with him? Her,
that's a
I should
long
say."
story. Falramar's a man. I mean, I'm groggy, I guess, but wake up and be like, "Hi, Falramar." Right. She um, showed up of her own accord. I didn't have any time to even see her. Um, I'm just staying away to stay out of trouble, honestly.
How convenient for you. Why Falramar sits in a jail cell.
I say that the wizard Fraldrim, no, Fraldrim, yeah. Wait, why is
Yeah.
it sounding? Whatever. Her, she is, I trust her, and she will make sure Falramar comes to no harm. I think, my belief is that Lady Mugral will see through, and your names will both be cleared. Fraldrim.
How nice of you to take that risk.
All right, Flash. You're the one who woke me up. Or you giving you answers?
You know the inside of that keep. I say we say to hell with Miagral. We find that we get way to get Falramar out, and we get on with the business at hand.
I'd say that's not an option. That would cause the disaster at the keep and possibly, um, the other nobles surrounding, especially Lord Algret. They have could be violence between the two houses.
He looks at you strangely. He says, "Have you talked to a seer? Do you have such arts yourself?"
Actually, I say yes. There was one at one of Fraldrum's apprentices. She did cite that without Falrenar's aid, that violence would break out. There would be consequences. Probably should have mentioned that first. I forgot. Max forgot.
Every seer I know knows that prophecy, has that reading. The tensions somewhere, somehow, in this area may lead to monumental bloodshed. But you're saying specifically, Falramar is the key to stopping it.
That's correct.
He's clearly. I should have you roll.
77.
He's clearly heard this news before.
Huh.
That Falramar is some sort of linchpin in the future.
Okay. I mean, I'll probe him on that. I say, Falramar must be very special.
That's not my problem, and it's not your problem. What matters is she's done her part and more for thousands of people who will never hear her name. She's done enough, and I won't have her sitting in a dungeon. Roll for me.
39.
There may be a deeper relationship here of some nature.
Huh. I protest, saying Falrenar specifically said that you should not come and help her. I think she's confident that
I got the idiot's note.
Okay. Oh, that's right. She did. Why do I keep forgetting all these important details? Gosh,
you have a life and I don't. So it's understandable.
Brise is just like, it's like, remember this. It's like, yes, everyone knows.
Well, it works.
Thank God we don't have like 100 people watching this. It'd be like, yes, Max. We know.
On October 2nd, Remember. Well, and you're role playing correctly though. You did just get woken up in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's stewing over, your argument that, she's that important. You want to jump in here before he flies off?
What else would I say? I know there's some more details. Um, I mean, I'll say that I insist again. Fraldrum is watching over Faranar. If you break her out, that's one less ally we have to this cause.
Aside from the fact of making her look guilty.
Right, and that too, you'll be making Fraldrum, ruining her reputation. She's a benevolent and good wizard.
Do you know how much harder it's going to be to capture these creatures? To break these chains? Without Valdemar? Her note said that she has a convoy set up to help me lug these creatures back.
Mm.
But we need several.
I mean, when is the soonest, or when is the latest we need to act? If Faranar's freed by then there's no problem.
We don't know what your Verilag is doing. Every moment could be too late. We just don't know. Roll for me.
Okay. 34.
He is not lying, but he must have other wizards he knows. You know some of them. It's obviously not the best argument he's making.
Yeah. So I'll push him on that. It's like we've lasted this long, and she still doesn't know about so much. There's still so much we have over her.
Which her? I'm confused.
Wait, there's still so much we have over Verilag that we can, use. We shouldn't rush and then ruin that chance. We should take our time and make sure we get it right the first time. I'll say obviously Adabir was the wrong way to go, but fates have, aligned that by siding with him, I've met you all. So there's something in that.
Has it occurred to you that you've also put Faramar in Kralem's reach?
That's an interesting point. Has Kralem heard? Remember, I can't comment on that, I guess.
He sits around and eavesdrops as much as he can to keep it
right.
up.
But yeah, if I'd spoken from him, maybe have an idea if he has some plans or anything, but not that I know of. I say, yeah, that's a good point. Yes, but all that means is that Faramar, who wishes to free Kralem, is now speaking with Kralem.
He's clearly beaten. He sits down heavily, just sort of defeated,
I'll try to, console him, and say, I'm sorry. I wish the first thing I wanted to do is go down there and apologize, but when she was locked up. But we just have to let these things run its course.
Do you want to talk about Oshekra's visit?
Yes, I will. In other news, talk about Oshekra visited me and what he spoke about.
Withhold anything?
No. And I also told him told him that I hadn't seen any of you.
And mentioned Dinamimuru's
right.
return.
Yeah, Dinamimu. Oh, he's just somewhere in the ancient lands. Go back to sleep.
That means there'll be a council soon. What are you doing here anyway?
I just say things seem a little tense at the keep right now. I sometimes have visitors or things that I don't want interfering with, rousing suspicion. Keep.
Why don't you tell him Faldrum's plan that may, make him.
True. Yeah. Yeah. No. Okay. I see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I say, don't worry that I'm away from the keep, but Fraldrum has created an illusion of me to maintain my presence there. This way, I can not cause any trouble there by accident, but also not raise any suspicion by being absent.
And does he know? I'm forgetting here. Who knows what?
Flesh knows everything.
Does he know that Crowlum has told you that he killed Adabir, and
That's
had?
a great question.
I don't
Um,
think so.
how did it? I told Fraldrum that, and no, I don't think I've even told Korakal or any of the Eagles.
No,
What's her name visited me.
Rhea.
Rhea visited me. I said that Adabir's dead, but I never reported who killed him. So
And then also then that Crowlum is still enlisting your aid and that he has a conspirator at the castle. You need to tell Plesh that. Or not.
I suppose. I mean, I don't know if it really matters. Yeah, I'd rather not bring that up, especially because he's so concerned about about Farinar. If he thinks that Kralm is plotting something, he might, I want him in that argument, so I don't want to push him to go the other way around.
Well, I don't think I don't think what would it?
I mean, he implied earlier that Kralm is now within reach of Faramar. If he thinks that, okay, Kralm killed Adabir, will he also think, like I said, if he does have some connection to Faramar that's more emotional, like it might be, oh, now she's in danger of Kralm's designs, right?
Well, only to the extent that Faramar would interfere in his designs, and if it's all about trying to free.
No, I was thinking of if Plesh is concerned for Farumar's well-being, and Kralm killed a powerful wizard. That's it seems like he
killed
might.
a powerful wizard who was interfering.
Yes, right. But okay, I'm just if Plesh is an emotional, if he does want to, I don't know. I'm thinking of this more of like how he's going to react. But if you think
but he's only going to react if there's reason that she's in danger. I can't see that the argument is that she's in danger.
I don't know. The way I think of it is like if you really care about someone and say that this person
is near any type of danger,
possibility or near, yeah, right. You know what I mean? I don't know how he's going to react, so might as well withhold that for now.
Sure.
Just I mean, heck, he's probably going to read my mind anyway, but
awesome.
I'll just withhold that, when there's a council or when Faramar is freed.
Do you want to mention? So you've mentioned the fact that Fraldrum let you out here. Are you going to mention that part of the plan?
Well, sure, yeah, like in part of creating an illusion, and Fraldrum also let me out, and I'm supposed to come back to the keep in 2 days' time. Well, day and 3/4.
Fine. Rises from his seat. He's clearly really tired.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you that, the campaign, to the trek to capture these creatures, may start in the next day or so.
Okay.
He doesn't know how long it's going to take. It could be a couple of weeks before they have enough creatures to bother with the attempt.
Right.
And I was thinking about this. Is kind of interesting, right? This is a scenario in which, like, so here you're sort of doing your own exploration and so on, but not really across the world, but across the continent. Faramar has probably done the classic role-playing thing of hiring adventurers to protect a convoy.
Right.
And you're like, it just fits organically in with the world.
Right.
We're
It could
going
be another one of your players is
right. I mean, it would be very interesting, but it's interesting how it works organically. Where he's like, we capture one, that's great, but you guys have to sit and watch on it because we can't be hit by bandits and these idiots free this thing.
Right.
And a normal crew is not going to stand around with this crystal beaked lizard, and then, so it's going to be very interesting. So, he tells you, he's like, Faramar has the convoy set up. She left me copious notes about how the people of the villages were very rude to her when she teleported in the middle of town.
Right.
Because she's not the most savvy when it comes to dealing with people. So unfortunately, it's going to be most of a week just to get to the valley where I discovered them when I was younger.
Right.
Once we have them all together, then depending on the resources we have, we might be able to immediately leave from that location and not spend the week trekking back toward the city.
Right.
I will leave word with the Eagles when we depart.
Okay.
He turns to go, stops, turns back, and he says, I'm sorry to have spoken to you so roughly.
I'm used to talking to goblins, I say.
He laughs. And he's tired. He takes a really deep breath and concentrates and teleports away.
All right.
Go back to sleep.
Yep.
Sleep until the sun is well above the horizon, a little later than you are used to. You're still alive. No evidence that the camp has been tampered with.
Campered with.
Campered.
All right. Okay. Might be a good place to end it then. Just
all righty. So you're woken up on the 12th, early morning on the 12th. Is that right?
The 12th. Yes.
Okay. So getting warmer every day, even in the mountains.
Nice.
And the snows are melting.
Mayflowers.
That's right. And well, there you go, guys. There's episode 58. To remind everybody, we're taking a break next week, and we're doing a later show for the for episode 59. That's going to be on Friday, August 5th. We'll make a special announcement on the website too to remind you. And I'll probably do a video announcement next Tuesday, just to let everybody know that we're skipping a week. As always, we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and enjoying Brise's adventure. I love this game, and I love this storyline. It's been fun. The 3 years we've been playing it, and year and a bit that we've done streaming, and we're gonna keep coming to you and keep advertising it and keep promoting it and so on. Yeah, so as always, thank you, and be sure to like and subscribe. If you think we're doing a good job, you can hop the donor box there. You see the website and send us a little money. Max, if you want to see more of his beautiful face and his sharp mind, you can hop over to his own channel there. You see the short link to it. Where he discusses video game music and arrangements of video game original soundtracks. As always, thanks to Elliot Dunovitz for the terrific work on Brise's character art. You can find more of Elliot's work at artstation.com/Tortolua. And I've written a novel that I'm pretty pleased with, and you can find a link for it in our description down below. And as always, there's also just links to Brise's character sheet, personality, and her notes that Max keeps on her adventure to keep all this very detailed role playing straight. So again,
straight as it can be.
That's right. So thanks again for everything, everyone, and for joining us. We'll be back August 5th. Max, I should say. Max, say goodbye to the lovely people.
Well, yeah, thanks for sticking around through the session, and take a little bit of a break. Make sure you read those articles. Karandrin.com or Karandrin.wordpress.com. Search Karandrin in Google. I bet you're going to find it.
That's right. It's Karandrin.com.
Yeah, Karandrin.com. And we will see you on August 5th.
That's right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.